had a conversation a few weeks ago with another coach friend of mine, and we were talking about bots that are coaches. And there is a gap for
Tim
that.
is AI coaching. He is not an AI coach. To
I
be
know.
real.
Yes.
He's
Tim's
real.
real. Look,
I'm real.
touching
See
him.
my face? I have all 10 fingers right here.
Count the fingers.
There you go. That's the real test. How many fingers does Tim have? But it was that he and I were talking about AI coaches, much like, God, what was that movie? The AI girlfriend or the robot girlfriend.
Her?
Yes.
There's been a few of those movies.
Now my mind's going on what's the other movies. But anyway, back to that problem set. It's the human connection, like you were saying. What do you envision, I guess is a better way of putting it, the AI bots closing that gap, right? The fake nurturing a robot that's taking care of a baby in the ICU. Where does that go? What's the potential laying out?
I don't know. I think society will decide, though. I think that we won't tolerate.
Do you have one you
certain
like?
things.
Like one thing you're like, ooh, that would be cool or something.
Like, we have a loneliness epidemic right now. A lot of people are lonely and isolated, and people spend a lot of time talking to chatbots. If you look at some of the top use cases of AI, one of them is companionship and just like talking about life. You have someone to listen. And so, okay, how do you feel? How do you feel about that? Is that a replacement for a human connection? I think that would long term be unhealthy for that individual. But in the short term, like journaling, I journal all the time. We know that journaling is helpful. So the fact that I'm putting my thoughts together in a judgment-free space, like, could that actually be helpful if it's not replacing like the need to actually form relationships and date people and all that stuff? So I think there's some both and. I've also developed my own AI coaching programs. Before I ran this consulting and strategy company, what I did was a nonprofit, and we would bring executive coaches and we would match them with high schoolers in like communities where there's not as many resources. And there's a 400 to 1 student to guidance counselor gap. So the guidance counselor is the one who's telling them, hey, here's the opportunities, here's access to scholarships. And they might not have anyone around them who's been to college or who can help walk them through that. The challenge is the average student got 30 minutes per year with their guidance counselor, right? And we know
By the way,
that's like
I can tell you it wasn't much different when I was a kid.
exactly. So it tells you the problem won't be solved by humans. We're not going to have like 10 times, 50 times as many counselors. And even if you do that, they can't talk to them at 9 p.m. talking to a child, an adult. It's just not appropriate. And now those are the moments when they're actually thinking about their future, not when their crush is sitting right there and the best friend is cracking jokes. That's not when they're really thinking critically about their future. And so we built a system called PowerPath, and it would be this AI coach. But it wouldn't just tell them what to do, it would ask them questions. And they liked that there was this judgment-free space. And so you imagine you could put a coach in every student's pocket, but you can't you're never going to scale that many counselors. And so I think there are use cases where, okay, hey, there are real gaps in society that we can fill. How many people have access to expert medical advice? As many. And then now if you use these systems with the right guardrails, right, everybody can have instant access to that thing.